Hey everybody, welcome back to Shop Review and Tips. I'm Xavier, I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Ad360, a simple app to help you manage all your ads across multiple channels and implement retargeting super easily, but more on that later. So today I'm going to review this post from Pineapple First in the Shopify e-commerce subreddit. So the title is "Why Am I Not Getting Any Conversions?" Okay. So they recently launched a store, they have clicks and visitors, and they have multiple adds to cart and several checkouts, but no conversions. Okay, let's look at the website and try and give you a few tips. Pineapple First. So firstly, the website is super cool. You have image, so this is the main product. It's actually the only product I believe that you sell. So it's a single product website, but for plant owners and people that are really into plant, that might be super interesting. The design is great, and you have a few texts that explain the benefit of providing this high quality light to your plants. So that's super cool. I like it a lot. A first tip, which I frequently give, I think it's super important, is having a call to action at the bottom of your page, so that when people get down to the bottom of the page, they know what to do, and you give them the opportunity to go to the next step, which is look at the product or put the product into cart. You don't want them to go down here and say, okay, now what next? And maybe potentially leave at that point, even though they might be interested in looking at the product more closely. So you want to have something like look at the product or buy now or something like this. So definitely put a call to action at the bottom of the homepage. The second tip I would give you is adding a buy now button in addition to add to cart. Especially if you have a single product store, I think not only, but especially in this case, it's going to be very efficient to help increase conversion rates to have a buy now button. And I have an example here. If you look at this website, which is our merch store, so it's a hat with our logo on it. You have these two buttons. So on Shopify, you can have add to cart and buy it now. And if you have a single product website, I think this is going to be very helpful, because if you add to cart, you see nothing happens. So if you noticed it, if you have a quick eye, you may have noticed there's this cart that appeared here with the one, but it's very subtle. It could be very easily missed if you're not paying full attention, or think about non-digital native audiences, maybe older people that don't have that good of a site, and we often overlook this public, but these represent a high percentage of people browsing the web, and sometimes these very subtle animations like the cart with the little one are not obvious enough for them to notice it. So the advantage of having the buy now button is you can't miss it, right? You click on it, you go directly to the checkout page. I think this is going to improve the conversion rate of this page. And lastly, one last tip I can give you is add a quantity selector. I've talked to many business owners for whom this feature significantly improved the average cart amount and their sales. Because so here, okay, you have the possibility of increasing, but again, it's very tiny, it's quite subtle, maybe you don't really notice it at first, and you have to mouse over, and then you have these little arrows where you can increase the quantity. It's really easy to miss, to be honest. It's not super easy. So maybe having it here, which will be bigger, and especially if you add the buy now button, you want to give the opportunity to people to add several items before they click buy now. So I think this is going to be helpful, especially for this kind of product. I imagine that plant owners, and especially people that are into plants enough to read about this and spend time on your website and look into the products and the benefits. They have more than one plant, I imagine. So it's going to be you would be surprised maybe how many people would buy 2, 3, 4 of these things. So I think The other day I read a comment on Reddit which said, make it easy for people to give you their money. I think that's a great piece of advice. Keep that in mind. So, okay, I think if you make these changes, you're going to significantly increase the conversion rate. And lastly, one thing you didn't ask about, which could be very helpful in your case, especially with this many people adding to cart but then leaving without making a purchase, is looking into retargeting. I don't think you're doing that. And so that's where I'm going to talk a bit about what we do, because I'd be super happy to give you a free consultation, a free audit of all your marketing strategy, and I could help you implement retargeting, which is one of the features offered by our app for Shopify. So Ad360 app for Shopify helps you manage all your ads in one place. So even if it's ads that run on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google, Instagram, and Minadex, which is any website basically, so news websites, themed website like plants or flowers or nature related websites that you could run your ads into, as well as mobile apps. And retargeting specifically would work very well for you. If you don't know what retargeting is, in a few words, it's showing ads only to people that have been on your website before, especially those that have added a product into the cart but that have not converted yet. So these are the people you want to show ads to. So if you do retargeting, you will only show ads to these people. So people that looked at your product, put them in the cart but didn't purchase. And these are the most likely people to buy from you, because they already know your brand, they know your product, they've seen it. Maybe they left the website because they didn't find the checkout page or the pay button, but they're really keen to buy your product. And that's a shame not to get those sales of people that would be very happy to get your product. So if you want to know more, feel free to book a demo with me. You can use this calendar in this page. I will put the link of this page below the video in the description. And I'd be happy to talk to you in more detail. Have a great day. Bye.